What's going on, Jam Fam, and welcome back to the gaming station. There's been a recent round of balance changes that were pretty small, but since it's been about a month since our last meta video, I figured we should take a look at it and see if anything has changed. As usual, I'm making a list of the top brawlers for both win and use rates for each mode, and showing the brawlers that have the highest win rate that also appear on the use rate list. Also, keep in mind that brawlers like Ash and Meg are pretty much always going to be omitted from this list because of the way I do it. Their play rates are just too low due to them being new and more rare, so they'll never make the top 5 when I do it this way. But if you watch a pro and they say Ash or Meg or some brawler like that is good in a certain mode, you should probably listen to them because after all, they play this game for a living. I'm just a dude with a YouTube channel. And last but not least, if you disagree with any of this, let me know why I'm wrong and stupid down in the comments. And if you're new and you like this type of video, consider dropping a like and a sub. Both would be very much appreciated. All right, enough talk. Let's get started. Starting off the classic mode, Leon's going to be number 5. He's currently 14th in win rates and 7th in use rates. Rico's going to come in 4th. He has the 10th highest win rates and the 3rd highest use rates. Rounding out the middle of the list, we have Tara. She has the 8th highest win rates and the 2nd highest use rates. Number 2 for this list is going to be Sandy, being 5th in both win and use rates for the mode. And once again, number 1 is going to be Belle. This time she's 3rd in win rates and 10th in use rates. This is pretty much the same list as last month. The order is just a little bit different, and now we have Rico instead of Spike. And again, I don't have any issues with this list. All the brawlers seem to fit for one reason or another. The only issue I would have is that there's only one real mid brawler on this list. That's not saying that other mids aren't viable, it's just that none of them made my list this time. So normally the Brawl Ball list turns out the worst, and this time we had to do the top 20 brawlers for the category because I just couldn't get anybody to match up. So let's see how it turned out. Number 5 is going to be Ems. She's 17th in win rates and 15th in use rates. Frank's going to be number 4. He has the 16th highest win rates and the 11th highest use rates. Again, on this list, Tara's going to round out the middle, being 13th in win rates and 4th in use rates. Poco's coming in at number 2. He has the 12th highest win rates and the 17th highest use rates. And number 1 this time is going to be Sandy. He has the 10th highest win rates for the mode and the 13th highest use rates. Again, fairly close to the last meta. We swapped Nita for Tara and then shuffled everybody around. Just like last month, I don't think Frank should be on this list, and Poco needs to be handcuffed to a tank to be really viable in Brawl Ball, in my opinion. But the other 3 brawlers are all excellent choices, depending on the map that's up. All right, kicking off my personal favorite mode is going to be Nita. She's 12th in win rates and 8th in use rates. Belle is going to be 4th. She has the 10th highest win rates and the 11th highest use rates. Surprisingly, 8-Bit is going to be number 3. The slow guy is 7th in win rates and 9th in use rates for Heist. Colette's coming in at number 2. She's 6th in both win and use rates for Heist. And taking number 1 this time is going to be Bull. Bull has the 4th highest win rates for Heist and the 10th highest use rates. So this time we swapped out Byron for 8-Bit, and then Colette and Bull swapped spots. I'm not gonna lie, it is a little weird to see 8-Bit on this list, but I suppose he can work because he does do good damage, and both his gadgets and star powers are viable for the mode. For the other brawlers, make sure Nita has Hyper Bear if you're gonna play her, and then for Bull, make sure there's a lot of walls on the map you're playing him in. But I would say that Colette and Belle are pretty much always gonna be safe choices, so you could just pick them up pretty much no matter what map's up. Starting off Bounty, we're going to have Brock. Brock is 15th in win rates and 3rd in use rates. Tara's going to be number 4. She's 13th in both win and use rates for Bounty. Sprout's going to round out the middle of this list, being number 3. He's 12th in win rates and 11th in use rates. Number 2 is going to be Leon. Leon is the 8th in win rates and the 6th in use rates. And Nani's going to take the top spot for Bounty this month, being 6th in win rates and 9th in use rates. All I have to say is thank God Rosa was not the top Bounty brawler again. Honestly, I don't think I could handle it. As for what's actually on this list, Tara is not a great choice. I don't recommend playing her, honestly. But all the other brawlers are solid choices and are pretty much good on all the maps. Also, Belle just missed out on this list. She was tied with Brock for win rates, but Brock has a much higher use rate, so he has the tiebreaker in that. So if you're going to play Bounty, take your pick from those brawlers and help lower Tara's use rates so we can get her off this list next time. Okay, kicking off the real Chad list is going to be Crow. Crow is 11th in both win rates and use rates for Siege. Lou is going to be 4th. He's 10th in win rates and use rates for Siege. My favorite brawler, BB, is going to round out the middle of this list. She's also 10th in win rates with Lou, but has the 5th highest use rates, so she gets the tiebreaker. Number 2 is going to be Belle. Belle is 8th in both win and use rates for this mode. And number 1 is going to be Buzz. Everyone's favorite lifeguard is 3rd in win rates and 12th in use rates. So looking back at the last video script, this is the exact same list from a month ago. So everything I said a month ago applies here. Crow's second gadget helps him a lot in this mode. Lou, Belle, and BB are all really good defense, and Buzz is just generally good in all phases of Siege. So we're just going to move on to the next mode now. Nita is going to kick off Hotzone. She's 11th in both win and use rates for the mode. Poco's number 4. He has the 10th highest win rates and the 3rd highest use rates. Amber's going to be number 3. She's 9th in win rates and 15th in use rates. Sandy's going to be number 2. He's 4th in both win and use rates for the mode. And number 1 is going to be our thick queen, Pam. She's 3rd in win rates and 13th in use rates for Hotzone. Alright, so no Gale or Frank this time around. Now we actually have some good brawlers on this list, being Pam and Amber. Pam is amazing at holding down a zone or lane depending on what your team comp is, and her second star power is really good for some sneaky area control that people aren't going to suspect. And of course, we all know that Amber is amazing at dealing a ton of damage from a safe distance, and her oil pools can be used to deter enemies from stepping into the zone. As for Nita, she's mainly used to try to keep enemies back, although she really needs her super to be able to do that efficiently. And Poco is just generally hard to kill, and if he's on a zone, you're pretty much gonna get a huge chunk of your percentage captured. So overall, I like the way this list turned out this time, unlike last time where Frank and Gale made the list. And our final 3v3 mode. Rico's gonna start off Knockout, being 10th in win rates and 12th in use rates. Leon's gonna come in 4th, he has the 8th highest win rates and the 4th highest use rates. Sprout's coming in at 3. He has the 5th highest win rates and the 7th highest use rates for Knockout. This time, number 2 is going to be Nani. She has the 4th highest win rates and the 7th highest use rates. And the number 1 Knockout Brawler this time is going to be Bo. Bo is 3rd in win rates and 14th in use rates. Again, this list is pretty close to last month. This time, Bo took Brock's spot, and then the list got shuffled around a little bit. I'll be honest, I'm not sure if Bo is here because of the Bo-Nani combo or if the buff Bo got actually makes that big of a difference. But other than that, all these brawlers are either really good at getting kills or doing chip damage from a safe distance. So from my limited knowledge of the knockout meta, I would say this is a pretty decent list again. Alright, well, that covers all the 3v3 modes. Overall, I think it's a pretty solid list. There's a few weird brawlers here and there that I don't fully agree with, like Frank and Brawl Ball or Terra and Bounty. But for the most part, I think they came out pretty good this time. As for brawlers that appeared on multiple lists this time, Belle, Sandy, Leon, Terra, and Rico all appeared on 3 lists. And other than Terra, I don't think that anyone would argue that this is pretty much the core of the meta right now. I will say that I'm surprised that Brock didn't make more lists because Brock is actually really strong after this recent rework to his attack. And another brawler that I'm surprised didn't make any lists was Jackie, because Jackie is pretty decent after her super rework. I especially think she should have been in the Brawl Ball list, but that's just me. But other than that, nothing really jumped out at me as like brawlers that should be being played more like I would normally do in this part of the video. And I do think that the game is in a fairly balanced state right now, but I do hope we get some kind of big balance change pretty soon just to get a little variety into the meta. Because just looking at these lists, they're pretty much exactly the same as they were a month ago, except for a few brawlers here and there. And that's a pretty good indication that our meta's been a little stale, and that can cause the game to get a little bit boring for some people. But what do you guys think? Do you like my list? Is there anything that you would change on them? Do you think that we need a big balance change, or are you happy with the meta right now? Let me know down in the comments. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.